Sean Brady is now the first man to finish Leon Edwards, and he made it look easy. It was a complete mixed martial arts performance, but what we will highlight today is the tremendous submission system which Brady employs. We will break down the dilemmas which Brady presents to his opponents and understand how we can add it to our grappling / MMA repertoire. Passing the guard. At times in MMA or Jiu-Jitsu, you will not be able to pass your opponent's guard. Especially in submission grappling where strikes aren't legal, competitors become extremely well versed at not allowing us to advance into any dominant positions. The knee shield is one of the most common guards used in both Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. In Jiu-Jitsu, this guard creates the space needed to begin underhooking the opponent's leg and entering leg locking sequences. In MMA, that space created by the knee shield becomes valuable for both avoiding strikes and getting up. There are many effective ways to clear the knee shield, but even once you do that, you are often still in the opponent's half guard. In a jiu-jitsu sense, you have still not passed the guard and therefore haven't gotten any points. In MMA, there are advantages to the half guard for ground striking purposes. However, the likelihood of getting a submission is way lower than positions like the mount or back, unless you're Sean Brady. The crossbody half guard system. Sean Brady understands that getting to the mount or to the back of the highest level fighters in the world often proves a difficult task. With that in mind, Brady has developed a system from the half guard which puts his opponents in a serious dilemma. This image illustrates Brady's crossbody half guard system. Step 1, establishing the half guard with the crossface. Step 2, bringing the crossface to the other side. And now you are faced with the dilemma. And if you thought this was just a one-time occurrence and not a well thought out system, think again. In Brady's last 5 wins, combining MMA and pro grappling, 4 of them have come by submission from either the Kimura or the mounted guillotine. What makes it so effective? The reason why this dilemma is so difficult for opponents to deal with is the multitude of things they must think about defending from the position. High-level fighters have trained for so long and seen so many techniques. They may be able to defend one attack with ease. Once you introduce the threat of 3 or 4 other attacks simultaneously, no matter if they have seen it before, the brain and body cannot effectively defend that many attacks at once. Once you overcommit to defending one option, 2 others present themselves. It's a constant cycle of defense which will never lead to safety. Let us dive deeper into the 2 submissions from this crossbody half guard. The Kimura. One thing which cannot be overlooked is the physicality that Sean Brady brings to the welterweight division. At 5'10" and most likely 190 pounds when stepping into the cage, Brady possesses a muscular frame which more resembles an NFL running back rather than an MMA fighter. The Kimura, although requiring technique for sure, is a move which heavily relies on strength. If you give Mikey Musumeci, who may be the most technically proficient grappler on planet Earth, a fully locked in Kimura against Derrick Henry, I think even Mikey would tell you he's not going to finish that. But Brady uses these physical advantages of his to make the Kimura easier, but he still must have the technique to finish it. Once establishing the grip from half guard, although there are many ways to finish from that position, the much more powerful finishes come once the guard is passed and you essentially sit on your opponent's head. The threat that arises when Brady locks up the Kimura grip can almost freeze opponents. In the Gastelum fight, Brady easily hopped over with no resistance from Gastelum and got his leg into the sitting on the face position. While in his grappling match against Ben Saunders, Ben attempted to dig in a butterfly hook with his right leg, which allowed Brady to simply lift his leg up and over. From here, the battle is completely lost, given the strength and the technique which Sean Brady possesses. The mounted guillotine. This is certainly the more tricky of the 2 submissions, and the way that Brady finishes it is quite unique. From this crossbody half guard position, at the top of Brady's opponent's mind is almost certainly the Kimura. Given the fact that 2 of Sean's arms are against one of theirs, it is a very threatening situation. As a result of this, opponents will often lift their head and shoulders if they can off of the mat. And once Brady's opponent does lift their head off the mat in this position, he will swiftly shoot the wrist underneath the chin with his tricep facing the ground. There are still a few steps which remain for Brady to properly secure the submission finish. The first line of defense from the spot is for the opponent to address the hand which is threatening the choke. Edwards would want to use his left hand to try and control the right hand of Brady, therefore stopping the choke. However, Brady knows this is coming and has a great solution. Brady lifts his hip, which was once beside the choking hand, and places it on top of the choking hand. What this does is eliminate Leon's possibility of hand fighting while also using his hip as a third hand to keep the choking hand in place. Although Brady might be able to finish it from here, a stronger finish will come when Brady passes the half guard and locks his hands together. Brady first threatens the choke by driving his hips into the body of Leon Edwards. This is visibly uncomfortable for Leon. From here, Brady uses his free hand to simply push down on the knee of Edwards to pass into the mount position. With the stability and control the mount provides, Brady can begin the process of locking his hands. While Edwards' left hand is occupied with a completely illegal grabbing of the shorts, his right hand is his only hope to stop Brady from locking his hands together and finishing the submission. Brady wins this battle easily by quickly locking his hands while Leon was trying to use his right hand to push on the left knee of Brady in an effort to stop the mount. Since Brady beat him to it, Leon's last-ditch effort is to dig his fingers into the small space between Brady's wrist and body, but it is all for nothing, as Brady has it completely locked in. So, in conclusion, this crossbody half-guard system from Sean Brady allows him to not have to establish an extremely dominant position in order to seriously threaten his opponents with submissions. The dilemma between the Kimura, mounted guillotine, the strikes, and the guard pass overwhelms the mind of Brady's opponent and leads them into a defensive cycle where when they defend one move, two others become open.